can you hit your students? And is it good to hit your students? In other words, does hitting your student teach the student?
Oh, yeah. It teaches hitting the student. Well, maybe I should caveat this. Like, I do not believe in hitting the student.
Okay.
I have hit students in the past.
But you don't anymore.
I haven't in a long time. And like, I realize today the error of my ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand the rationale behind hitting the student.
So assuming that we don't hit students in our school, you don't hit students. But,
I do not.
But just to back up for a second, assuming that we're going to discuss this, we can do a hypothetical and say hypothetically what the value is of hitting a student.
It is from a generation gone by, and it was a very effective technique.
Why is giving negative reinforcement? How does that work as a teaching tool?
Well, the thing is that in the old days there was this immediacy. You only learn martial arts in a clan or family, and you're going to be using that martial arts, bukiwaza, weapons technique, whatever it is, on the battlefield soon. And so you got to get them into the mindset to learn, absorb right away. And so the thing about it is it comes down to like subconscious programming.
Okay.
The fastest way to get you into that subconscious state, bam, across the face.
Wake you up.
Not wake you up. Well, it wakes you up, but that fear drops your nervous system into a lower brainwave state, so that you can just absorb. You're alert. You're absorbing information because you're so afraid.
So is that what? So I'm looking at the question again because something you just said struck me, where he says light blows or physical abuse. It doesn't say. It doesn't say clock the person.
Light blows, hard blows, all the same.
Yeah.
So you might as well just do it hard, right? So like if you just go like across the face,
it's pointless.
It may not be strong enough. Or it could, see the thing is, soft or hard, it could still be humiliating.
I'm raised in a Catholic family. My parents went to Catholic school, and they went to Catholic school in the 40s and 50s, and they were routinely beaten by nuns and priests when they were little children. They were not bad kids, but they said like if you were out of line, the nuns would come by with a stick, and you had to put your hands on the table, wham, and smack them like crazy. And that was the learning environment they had as little, not adults, little children.
But see, what was the learning environment that they're trying to create?
Discipline.
No, fear.
Fear.
Creates adherence.
Right.
Which creates, quote unquote, discipline.
Right.
So the thing is that if I want to teach you something, I want you to be paying attention and listening to whatever I say. Hi, sensei, hi. So that's adherence. But if you go, I don't know, if you're looking off into space, you're not really listening, you think this person's not listening. And so, like, you're creating a distraction. But the thing is that just because the person doesn't look you in the eye or is looking away or asks a question doesn't mean they're not learning.
Right.
But the thing is, in the past, it was too disruptive to have two or three different types of learning groups.
Right.
Right, because we're going to battle in 60 days. We're going to march out and meet these guys in 60 days. You got to learn these techniques. You got to learn how to use this halberd. Right? And so, shut up, bam, across the face.
Yeah.
And then you're like, because everybody's trying to learn, so no distractions.
Right.
Because
And also learn only one thing in a certain way.
In a certain way.
Yeah.
Today, it's not like that. We know there's all these different ways to learn. You can learn visually,
emotionally,
auditory, kinesthetic, right? Through taste, through hearing, to smell, all these different ways to learn that they didn't have.
And we're more inclusive for all types of human beings.
Well, yeah, because we're
more enlightened.
We're more learned, right? We understand the psyche, we understand the id, that's the inner child, all those different things.
And we're not trying to create soldiers out of every human being.
Right. But if you were trying to create soldiers,
okay.
So you have a generation, 2 generations ago was the slap. That's the physical violence,
right.
Physical.
And we stopped that.
Yeah, the slap to create adherence. And then it went from there to the verbal slap of adherence. And now we don't do that. We try to reason with you because you're a learned person. So if I explain it to you in a certain sense where, look, I understand that you were hurt as a child, but we don't do that, blah, blah, and all these things. It's just been easier to go, you want to fight somebody, you fight me, bam, across the face. I will stop doing that.
Yeah.
And then they become afraid of your hand And then it's that whole thing about the dog collar that shocks the dog.
Yeah.
Every time it runs out of the yard, it gets shocked.
Yeah.
And then at some point, you just take the collar off, and they're too afraid to run toward the end because they don't want to get shocked.
Yeah.
And then sooner or later, the hand never even comes up. It's just a look. And then the look causes them to go, okay, I won't do that anymore. And what am I really teaching people? Right? Am I teaching, if I slap you, I gain adherence.
Right.
And if you stay, I have now developed a follower. Right? You will do whatever I say because you don't, what'd you say? You don't. But that's how I'm not trying to develop people like that. I'm trying to develop balanced, kind, compassionate human beings, right? Through Aikido as a vehicle. So today, when I see people getting rough, I just think, immature, lacks restraint. If we kind of tease out all these different methods, if I slap you, what am I really trying to do? Am I trying to wake you up? Or am I trying to gain adherence to create a follower? Right? So I want to make my life easy. I want an easy life as a teacher. Everybody listens all the time, does whatever I say when I say it. No one ever speaks up against the teacher. Why? Why? Right? Today, I don't want that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to make a misstep, which I make missteps all the time, I want someone to go, dog poop, watch out. I go, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
But the old days, you just like, I stepped in dog poop. It's your fault. Lick it off my shoe.
Right.
What? And then you're like licking it off. Hi, master, whatever you tell me to do, I will do. I will sit in the rain. I will do all these things, to be your student because I'm trying to gain something. But what are you trying to gain? Remember, you're only fighting from 19 to 30.
Yeah. After
30, after 40, no fighting. Yeah. Right? Why? Because recovery time's too slow, not fast enough, all these different reasons. Got family, can't show up to the battle, wife won't let you. Super Bowl Sunday, can't make it to class. All these things get in the way of the battle. So that's this idea of the adherence. It's just for adherence. But what are you trying to do? Right? If I'm going to slap you, there has to be a reason and intention. Why I hit you so that you'll listen. Well, why do I want you to listen? Well, I want you to listen so that you make my life easier and you become my follower. I'm not hitting you to make you better. I'm hitting you to make my life easier. Right? And so that's the hard part. That's things I understand today. Oh, I'm just hitting them to make my life easier. So it's not about that. It's not about the people who are, you're already a lawyer. That means you already have a certain level of drive and motivation to become good at something. Aikido is just a physical movement, so it wouldn't be that hard.
But for some people, if they're very young and they don't have developed a system of discipline, they might need more.
They might need more, but then they've already been slapped enough.
Yeah.
Life has already beaten them way worse than I'll ever beat them. So if I slap them, aren't I just adding another layer, more pain? When really, what they really need is like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. All right, bring it in. The guy's crying. You're like, okay, okay, all right. And then he can move on in life, right? So that's the hard part about hitting people. What is the intention? And then when you do it, what's the ROI, right? Return on your investment. You're going to slap them, but then it created a certain level of exposure to risk. And then it didn't work. And then you slapped them and they're gone. And you're like, God, I shouldn't have slapped that person. Right? So that's the hard part. Even light blows. Because you don't really even know where someone's line is.
Yeah.
Is their line hitting them?
Really
brandishing? Did you see the movie Whiplash?
Oh, of course.
So do you remember the ending?
No.
As people analyze the conclusion, they talk about how the student one-upped the teacher and showed him and all these different things, but it's not about that. They missed the point from a traditional training standpoint. The traditional training standpoint is that one of the students once told me this thing, and this is what made me understand that thing, is that they say, when my children were born, he said, just remember this. Parents say yes out of fear and no out of love. And so when you watch the ending of Whiplash, if you ever watch it, that's the culmination of this whole idea that the teacher becomes your enemy.
Mm-hmm. I've heard this story.
And because the teacher's your enemy, you will work so hard to beat that person.
Right.
Right? But the thing is that the teacher pushes you in a way by making you their enemy, and then It's to help you. In Japanese, they say it's the student has iji, right? Is willful, but you have to change that stubbornness and willfulness into konjo, fighting spirit, so that they can use that willfulness to get someplace in life. So when the teacher abuses this drumming student all the way to this point of making him quit or firing him, and then he comes back and plays perfectly, and everyone goes, see, he showed you up. He didn't need you anyways. No, it's not about that. It's that somebody had to say no,
right, out
of love for this person. I love you so much, I will make you good by slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
But the thing is, 99.99% of those people never make it.
Yeah.
And then you just have this hostility. I used to do Aikido. I hate that guy now. Because you didn't understand that that teacher slapped you for your own good.
Yeah.
Is corporal punishment necessary? Does it work? Yeah, it works. Is it necessary, though? Is it effective? I don't really know. Like I said, putting on the spectacles of 1990, yeah, it works. Putting on the spectacles of 2022, absolutely not.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, because it's not, people aren't training. We were trained to be professional Aikidoists. We were trained to be training, it was unspoken, but we were training to be warriors.
Yeah.
And so you needed that level, right? It was a badge of honor. Yeah, Sensei beat me up or Sensei slapped me. Yeah, part of the group. In those days, it created this immediacy, this level of training, which I don't even know if I can create without it. But then I don't have the heart to do it to people. And I don't even think Free Sensei had the heart. Because I think in the end, it didn't do any good to have been that way.
No. You especially as the leader and the teacher and everyone that has to follow you, is that there's an ethical and a moral component of this. Is what kind of person do you want to be?
Or what type of person do I want to make?
Both.
Well, but then the thing is that, well, it's like this. As Mr. Miyagi used to say, there's no such thing as bad students, only bad teachers.
Yeah.
Teacher say, student do. So if I'm a bad person, or if I'm, beating up people, my students will be that way because they think that's okay and they're going to copy me.
Yeah.
But today I understand that that's wrong. Maybe it's being a parent, maybe it's being a doctor or whatever it is, that's violence.
Yeah.
And that is not what I'm trying to teach you people. I'm trying to get you all to be better, kinder, more compassionate, more social, think of other people. How do I do that? By beating you up. And therefore, the slap, today, it only creates followers and adherents. And so I'm pretty sure that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because the success rate in Free Sensei's generation is super, 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 super low, 99.999%. Slapping or no slapping, it's still close to zero, right?
Yeah.
So it's 99% of those people aren't going to make it. So slapping or not slapping them, it's probably not going to work. Because you might even be able to do better by not slapping them.
Right.
And so that's why I don't think corporal punishment works in a modern martial arts school. Battle might be a different story, but nobody here is going to battle.
Yeah.